myself, Samuel Law. I got Kev with me. What you saying, bro?
How you doing?
I got Ibs, debut, TeamTalkTV debut. What you saying?
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I got Sid in the cut as well.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Good evening, sorry.
Yeah, man. All right, cool.
Good evening.
Let's get straight into it. We'll start off at Carrow Road, Norwich vs Arsenal, 2-2. We'll talk about obviously the whole managerial change after, but let's just talk about the game. How do you think the game went today, Ibs? You're an Arsenal fan.
I'm not sure about the team selection, if I'm honest. I was surprised Xhaka was in, if I'm honest. But I'm an advocate for Xhaka. Purely on the basis... Listen. Purely on the basis that there's no one in that squad who can transition the ball from the defence to the midfield to attack. There's no one. Torreira can't do it. Guendouzi can't do it. Willock's still lightweight, so you can't do it. There's no one else in the centre mid who can do that.
Xhaka can't do it either.
No, you can't. He's the only player. So...
It's funny,
and bear in mind,
it's funny because
bear in mind,
people
since
say they don't know what Xhaka's good at.
Since Xhaka's been out of the team, we ain't won a game. So he can't be him as the problem.
You're winning with him in the game,
Yes,
in the team.
We won a few, and so with him not in it,
fact check that, but
I can fact check it.
Yeah.
There's a Twitter page for that. But I feel when Arsenal play with the two strikers and Ozil behind, there's no width.
Yeah,
and I feel that kills our team.
No, but I think what usually Emery was asking for was they would split. So Ozil played down the middle, kind of false nine, but attacking mid, and then Lacazette and Aubameyang would split.
I get that, but I feel if you want your strikers to split, you need fast strikers. Laka likes the ball to feet, and then he wants to, do that back into thing that he loves doing. So Uber's fine with it, but if you want to do that, then you probably better putting Pepe in there instead of Laka.
What's going on with Pepe, bro?
Freddie said something today, like he just said in training, it's just not really seeing what he wants. So,
is that because that's why I assumed that maybe he's not impressing in training?
Yeah, I've actually got the quote. So it said, Pepe is a very good player, but I looked at what we did in training and what I see every day, and that's how I judge it. So that's Freddie. And Freddie's been there since Emery, so...
Yeah, he's seen it. He can't...
It's not a wall, man. He's just adapting, man. He's just
I
got
agree.
to a club.
We're going to give him time. I'm definitely one of the people that said I'm going to give him time, but I was wondering why he hasn't been playing. You know
I want to see him, Ozil, Laka, and Uber up front. Just play them four, and if it don't work, at least you can say, all right, we've tried. Because it's a conundrum in everyone's head. Why haven't we seen all four of them start a game? Especially at home. You should beat teams at home. And just see how they get on. And then have like Guendouzi and whoever behind.
Did you expect basically, when a new manager comes in, the new manager energy, whereas like the team just start playing a different way, they start giving the extra effort that they weren't before. Did you see kind of a change in the Arsenal team, or is it same old Arsenal today?
Same old Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal have been any different since Wenger left. Like I don't see. The only thing that's probably been different was Emery's changes, because he was like making changes like half time and stuff, whereas Wenger was made changes in like the 70th minute. I don't see the football hasn't got any better. The last year of Wenger was boring football. I'll be honest. I love Wenger, but it weren't like great. I don't think the football's got any better. The only thing for me was that Uber kept Emery in his job longer than he probably should have been there.
I mean, like he kept on rescuing the point.
If he don't score those goals, we're like, 18th, 17th?
Even today, though.
He scored again. And I feel like he's such a talisman. If he was to get injured, I don't think Laka can do what he does. That's why, for me, Uber has to start, period.
About Laka, though, I swear Laka was playing well, because Laka came first, right?
Yeah.
I swear when he came, he was banging goals.
See, this is the thing. I felt like when he was with Sanchez and Ozil, it was good. Do you know what? I know Sanchez left, and he was an annoying player, but he gave Arsenal something that we ain't had since. And he was annoying, but I felt if we'd got Uber in with Sanchez, him, Laka, Sanchez, Ozil, would have been ridiculous. Personally, anyway.
Yeah. Kev, Arsenal's defence, will it ever change that? Is it today? Bro, I saw Mustafi get spun. There was one in the second half. Pukki, he had the ball, he had his back to goal, then he span him, and Mustafi was nowhere to be seen. Like, what's going on with the Arsenal defence, man? Like, how long can this continue, bro?
I think they need to change their personnel. You can't...
To who?
That's too easy to say, though.
No, it's but there's nothing you can do. You can't... I don't care if, Ferguson comes out of retirement and takes over Arsenal. There's nothing you can do with that set of players, man. I don't think some of them have it in them. Some of them are just they're not the quality. Arsenal... See, so everyone here would associate Arsenal as being at the minimum a top 4 club.
Yeah.
but I feel like that set of players will struggle with the way the league is comprised right now. Like Leicester and everyone, you will struggle to make it with that set of players. They're missing steel, and Arsenal's steel has always been at the very minimum in defence. If at the very minimum, they've always had solid centre backs, and now since Koscielny's gone, I look at them like soft.
But you know
soft.
what? Back to the Xhaka thing, yeah. I think that's why people like Xhaka though. The ones that do like him, because he has some sort of presence in midfield. I don't rate Xhaka.
I understand why people don't rate him. He's error prone. This guy does nonsense. Like when he took out Son in the penalty area against Spurs, like he does stupid stuff. But for me, it's Arsenal play a certain way. So unless you're going to make Torreira a DM who will be a like destructive individual, just break up play and give it, then you've got to play Xhaka. Because Guendouzi's a centre mid. He wants to get box to box. Willock wants to get box to box. Danny Ceballos wants to go box to box. No one wants to do that Coquelin role. No one wants to do that in that team. And that's who Arsenal needed. Do you know what? For me, Coquelin was that guy who did the destructive nasty
And
stuff.
before Coquelin, I remember his song, innit?
Song. Like Coquelin was awful. He was awful.
There was a gap before Coquelin. I mean, Coquelin and Song.
Yeah.
Before that, there was a gap. So they took a while to identify they always need that player in the team. Then they got Song. They had Coquelin. Then why another gap? Yeah. Why have you not identified you need an enforcer?
Xhaka was supposed to be that, I reckon. That's what they're saying.
The thing is, Xhaka's a deep blind playmaker. He's not a DM. Them playmakers, they want to pick up the ball, transition it over, kind of like Jack Wilshere. But when you have a DM, kind of like Coquelin, who's not good on the ball, but he was watch that season. He was with Cazorla. The guy was doing nonsense.
Cazorla.
He was just doing nonsense.
See what you just said about Wilshere? Does Xhaka operate on doing that role? Does he do it at the same level anywhere near Wilshere? Does he?
No, Jack was different quality.
Hence, the football has become so disgusting.
Yeah,
correctly.
of course, that's what I mean. Bro, I watch Arsenal now and I think, I enjoy football. I enjoy playing and watching, but me now it's just...
I used to watch it just for the entertainment factor at the least. You know you're going to watch a good game and it might be end to end and you might see some good quality football, but now...
You know what? I'm gonna segue it here a bit, yeah, because I'm still gonna touch on. I'm still gonna stay with the defensive side. But you said there's no one in that defense as a personnel, yeah. This summer, David Luiz came in, yeah. Now, this ties into now what I'm saying with the Emery thing. I'm not one of the people saying Emery shouldn't have been sacked because it's obvious he wasn't getting the results. But did Emery want David Luiz? Can anyone here say Emery said to the board, listen, I want David Luiz from Chelsea?
Probably not, purely on the basis that he's a 33-year-old at 8 mil. It's a cheap option.
Okay, so
he's Prem experience.
And where Emery's coming from, did he sign players like that? Was he signing?
Exactly.
His signings were a lot more solid.
I mean, if you want to look at his recent signings, look at some of them PSG signings. They're mediocre.
I'm sorry, PSG is a blank spot in my head when you're talking about
Emery.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the best with signings.
Yeah, I was more thinking about his time in Spain more, where I look at that team and say, okay, they were a bit better.
No, but I say that to say, the board gave him David Luiz.
Yeah, I believe he weren't bought. Emery wouldn't want him. He bought Socrates. Socrates is supposed to be this hard, tough exterior. Yeah. Oh, listen to that, whatever his name was. Cool. Sven bought him, but I feel that Socrates is the type of defender you need, even though he's not great, who can just be nasty.
Right.
You know,
Right. They've identified the correct need in Socrates, but the wrong player for it.
Yeah, of course.
They should have gone. I don't know. There's
Arsenal
too many
were
players.
linked with another centre back who's thriving at Leicester. Soyuncu, the Turkish centre back.
You know the weirdest thing?
Arsenal
That's who I was going to mention. But I was like,
linked
no,
with him.
forget it.
Arsenal linked with him and they didn't go for him. He's not the best.
Wait, Arsenal linked with him, but they didn't get him. Why?
No, they went for Socrates instead.
No, they went.
Well, they didn't go for him.
Let's not say they didn't get him.
No, because
they didn't go for him. He was linked.
I
Arsenal
think
linked and they went with
let me
Socrates.
get to my point. I think Emery has been hard done by. I think that's what I'm saying. He's not good enough, yeah. But I feel like I said in the week when Emery was sacked, yeah. I said, welcome to the managerial merry-go-round. I said that in the group, yeah. And the reason I said that is because as long as that board remains, yeah, for me, I'm not worried about Arsenal because I feel like it's just going to be more of the same. There might be some, couple good moments and that, but I think nothing major is going to change. Because I'm going back to say, Emery did not want David Luiz. Now, we all identified that David Luiz, we know now he's not that guy. Like even Gary Neville said he's one of the uncoachables. Basically, he can't be coached anymore. Like,
I legitimately thought, sorry, but I really did think they might try a thing and put him in DM, you know.
Nope.
I actually thought it might be a possibility because I looked at it and I said...
He's played DM under Benitez.
Yeah, I looked at it and I said, no, you don't want to play him in centre-back of an already...
Bro, when Emery said, I need a defender, they bought him Luiz. So I think what I'm trying to get at is that the board...
When you needed Evans.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, even Evans was linked, but they went with Luiz. I think the board are doing too many shortcuts.
Yeah, to try and get the end result.
You know what I'm saying?
When in reality, Arsenal were in a transitional period.
So wait, so let's talk about the next manager now, yeah? Whoever, first of all, who have you been looking at in terms of managing Arsenal? Who do you reckon would do a good job for you guys?
Oh, before you go into that, remember, see the conversation we were having before about the transitional period. So, myself included, everyone believes they might be, when your team is trash, and both United and Arsenal are trash right now, you need to go understand the transitional period means everybody, like literally, I can say about 10 players I'd like to see leave the club. Some might be contested and say, no, he's doing okay, but okay is not good enough to take you where you want to be. If you want to be back at the top, then the okay doesn't cut it. Especially when they're doing a job, they're like, he does his thing. Like, no, but doing his thing, he can go and do his thing at Everton, or go and do his thing at, another team that is just mid-table or is always knocking on the door. Wolves, do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like that thinking needs to come behind the appointment of the next manager, as what we're watching. And then, somehow you incorporate that into your next decision and say, this person not just has to come in and get the right players in, he has to get the wrong players out. Now, that's going to take how many seasons?
Yeah, but, sorry to cut you, how can he get them out if nowadays all they ever do is get head coaches? There's no managers now. So all this, he picking his players, he picking his team. How do you do it when you've got, look at our team. You got Socrates bought by Sven. You got Aubameyang bought by Sven. Mkhitaryan bought by Sven.
But is it run by? Is it like kind of confirmed by the manager, or has he got? He hasn't got no say.
I think it's a case. Obviously, we don't know. We're not there in it. So I think it's a case of, if you're a head coach, your job is match day. 11 people. You are technically you're a captain. You pick a team and you put the team out there. That's your job. Make the subs, but the team will identify what it is that is needed. The thing with the issue is now is all teams are now, or most clubs, they pick players based on data. They look at data now. It's the computers that tell you he runs the most, or he does this, or he makes the most passes. That's why a lot of players get bought. I think Sven even bought Socrates because of tackles and stuff like that. Gazidis was saying years ago, we use with Wenger, we use data to buy our players. Like, if you're using a computer...
Yeah, but I swear Sven is the guy that came from Dortmund, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been responsible for Aubameyang, Kagawa, Ruiz, all these guys at Dortmund.
I'm not debating that. Like, he's brought all the players through, but there's no point in bringing all the players if the coach is not gonna pick them in the way they play. Today, Freddie Ljungberg done his interview before the game, and he said basically that, I watched it today, I didn't watch the game, but he said, when they asked him, why do you pick the team? He said, there's no point in me picking the team a certain way and asking players to do things that they can't do. He said that, yeah. You know what I mean? So he can't, although we will say, we want this and we want that, he's basically thinking, well, you lot say you want Aubameyang on the left. When I put him on the left, what's going to happen? He ain't going to play. Then you lot are going to get onto me. Don't get me wrong, the team he picked today is crap. But he's basically saying, the way you lot want me to play, or the way you want this team to play, I haven't got the personnel to play it. But the issue is, what manager has the time to get the personnel?
So back to Ibs then. So who would you like to see in the Arsenal team as a manager?
Arteta, personally. That would be my first choice. He was my first choice originally. I wanted him when they were interviewing him instead of Unai. I'd say Arteta. And then if not Arteta, a safe option, and I say this to help a transition, would be Rafa Benitez.
See, I said Rafa Benitez,
I get why
people are laughing.
Listen, I get why people laugh, and I totally understand it. He's been in China, but this guy will come in and steady the
Look what he
ship
did
for
at
2
Newcastle,
years.
G.
No, it's not even that.
Are we Newcastle?
No, listen, just listen.
You basically are.
Just listen. Listen, he steadies the ship for 2 years, 2 years max, and he
Ship
just gets.
steadier.
he
We
gets- he
need
gets
to have a new
Arsenal
name for
to a
certain
point.
managers now. Ship steadier.
And he might even win an FA Cup or Europa League. But wait, and he steadies it for the next guy. Personally, I want Arteta in. See what Frank has done at Chelsea is what Ollie's not doing at United. And it's what Arteta could do. Arteta's been, for me, the best coach in the last
Elaborate
10
on that,
years.
what you just said there.
So Lampard has been given a job off a whim here, yeah? Because they couldn't buy anyone. If they could buy, they would have gone for a different manager. Let's be honest, yeah? They would never have gone for Lampard.
Definitely.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I'm back in
100%.
What, did the ban come after before?
The ban was
they
there.
knew-
They knew the
they
ban
knew
was
it
there.
was-
That's
they
why
knew
Sarri
it
left as well, because he couldn't buy anyone. So for me, they brought in Lampard because they knew, all right, you can't buy anyone, we'll give it to you. They have not realised that Lampard's done a better job than what they wanted him to do. Ollie has come in with a transfer budget, beat PSG, and got given the job. Let's be honest, he only got the job for PSG to win. Otherwise, he ain't getting that job. And it's
And
not
the
worked.
run before that.
Yeah, and it's not worked. Arteta has been working with Pep Guardiola for the last
deepening
2
that,
years.
but go on.
Yeah, he's been with the best manager in the last 10 years. Yeah, he knows.
Right hand man, basically.
Yeah, he knows he's crap. So and he knows Arsenal. So for me, you bring him in and look, Arsenal are going to be crap for the next 3-4 years. I'd rather Arteta build something. And what City said with how long can they get, you got to give him the time to ship the crap out. If that means that my boy Ozil has to go, Laka has to go, and you bring in Martinelli, you bring in Pepe, you get rid of Xhaka, you get rid of Luiz, you get rid of Socrates, and you bring in youth, all for it. All for it.
Okay.
Plus, also, Ozil, I love Ozil. Don't get me wrong. I'd play him. But if it means that Arteta comes in and the big guns who are on big wages have to go, so you can bring in the likes of Martinelli, or you buy someone like a Damari Gray, or someone who just needs to play football, I'm all for it.
Wait,
Let me ask a question.
I've got to come back to that as well.
Do you think Rafa Benitez can do that transition period for you and select the right players into your club?
Personally, if Rafa comes in, you'll probably see the same team, but he installs a different mentality that a lot of coaches can't do. He gets you doing something different. So if Arsenal now go win FA Cup, win Europa League, and then he dips, I'll take it, because the next manager will come in with something different.
But let me ask you
Look at
that.
Arsenal's team. Look at Arsenal's team. A lot of these guys are approaching 30 or over 30. Uber's 30. Ozil, Socrates, Luiz.
I believe footballers are either mentally strong or mentally weak. So I believe when I evaluate the Fergie years for United, yeah, I feel like he always picked people with the right mentality.
No.
And then talent afterwards.
No. One thing Fergie had over every different manager is even if a player is crap, they will run through a brick wall for him. And I'll give you an example. Remember when Arsenal had Eduardo and Adibar up front and were doing the most?
Yeah.
We went to United in FA Cup quarter-final. Fergie put a back seven out. He had Rafael Fabio centre mid. This team run riot and beat Arsenal 4-0. Phil Jones, all them, man. No other manager can get that because they will run through a brick wall for Fergie. I'm not saying they'll do the
you're saying
same
it's
for
different
Benitez,
then?
but when a manager can install a mentality even in crap players, you give them the time to just bring something. Arsenal are in a transitional mode that if it goes bad, you'll have the Roy Hodgson Liverpool years where you got Jay Spearing and that. Trust me. And that's where Arsenal will go if they're not careful.
But wait, let me ask you back to the Arteta one, yeah? What makes you think he would be allowed to do what you just said? You don't think Emery wanted to get rid of certain man?
Look, Emery,
No, what I'm saying
I'll
is
tell you now, I get
the
that.
board
I
are the
get
big...
that. But I get that.
You earn the time that you're given, though.
Yeah, thank you.
You can't just get given time and do nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. So what makes you think Arteta's going to come in?
Listen, Arteta knows Arsenal 1. 2, Unai was the same guy that lost with PSG at Barcelona. He's the same guy that went a whole season with Valencia without winning an away game. He's the same guy that was 2-0 up with Valencia,
remember,
and lost to Real Madrid who had 9 men.
But wait, are you keeping
He's
the same energy? Wait,
no.
now Sid, when Emery first came in, was Ibs one of the people that was happy?
Yeah, he wasn't happy.
Okay,
He
cool.
wasn't
Because
happy.
I'm sure there's a lot of people in
know
hindsight
Unai.
now.
I know Unai. For me, Arteta will be given to it. He's an attacking philosophy. Arsenal want to play football. If Arsenal win 3-4-1, 4-2, 4-3 each week, you won't see Arsenal fan TV survive. Simple.
The only question about Arteta is just how will he recruit to now come and do the
Kev, no, that's what I'm saying. If Arteta said I need a centre back and they give me another raw defender now.
No, but
because
remember-
Arteta's not gonna come and say, "Oh, I want this centre back," and the board are gonna go, "Okay."
But they're gonna have to if they're gonna trust him. Otherwise,
So
Arsenal
why didn't they
being
give it to Emery then? That's what I'm trying to say.
Emery was pragmatic. He
No,
was
the
so.
thing with Emery is Emery was like literally the first person who's like they've started this whole head coach for thing. You get me?
Yeah.
They took the power away. Wenger had all the power. All the power is gone. So when it's come to Emery, they've said, "Listen, you are just a coach.
You have a
You
director.
get given what we give you,
You
basically.
have a
get given
director
what
of
we give
football.
you. We look at the finances. You say you need a centre back. We'll go and see what's the best that we can afford." Now they blew the budget on Pepe. They've blown the budget the past like Ozil's a budget a killer.
42 mil,
You get me? Pepe, they spent money on him.
72 mil.
Thanks for that. You get me? They've spent a lot of the thing with Arsenal is a lot of what me and Kevin were talking about the other day. A lot of things that Arsenal have done is Arsenal have done a lot of spending for like the year in advance, right? I wouldn't be surprised if what they've spent on Pepe is next year's budget.
Bro, you know when you buy a whip, yeah, on finance, and after like a couple months of that, you know what, this whip is not even, I'm still paying
I'm
direct
not-
debit. Because they paid in installments for him, right?
Right.
They're probably thinking, nah, man, I've still got to pay on this guy.
Because I said this to Kev the other day. The thing with Pepe is, how old's Pepe? 20...
Yeah, he's still young. Oh,
24, 25, right? He's still young. So the way you look at Pepe is, okay, if Pepe bangs, he's still nowhere near his prime, right? If he stays and he bangs, like let's say next year he goes crazy, he hasn't even entered his prime. So if they do shut him, that 72 is gonna like change if he bangs. Whereas because he's still young, it's not that big a deal kind of thing. You know, over a long-term period, it's not as big a deal. Whereas if we'd invested in Zaha's in his prime now.
who did you want at the time?
Pepe.
See, I was saying Zaha would be good, better for Arsenal.
Now I'll tell you why. Now I'll tell you why not Zaha. He only scored his first goal this season last
Bro, he's
week.
playing with Crystal Palace,
I
man.
don't care. You're supposed to be the talisman. You cannot be putting out numbers like that
Can I
when
tell you something?
Iwobi,
Can I tell you
who was at
something?
Arsenal, has
Can I
got
tell
more
you something?
numbers.
Can I say something? Zaha would have just put his job wouldn't have been to score the goals. His job would have
Whip
been
it
he
in.
would have dribbled the man and feed all.
When you look at a winger, yeah, you want goals, you want assists, you want dribbles per 90 as this data nonsense comes out. Go to Burnley, McNeil, this guy with the left foot.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah,
seen
yeah, I
his
like
left
him, I
foot?
like him, yeah, I like him.
I've seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, Burnley play pragmatic 4-4-2. This guy's just a proper
Whipping it in, yeah.
left foot midfielder.
Listen, forget
Compare
all
his
that.
numbers to Zaha.
Forget all
Has
that.
Zaha scored what 2 goals?
Forget all that. The
From
thing with
now.
Emery, to go back.
go
Emery's issue was the reason he wasn't afforded this time is because his on the field decisions were too mad. Yeah. That's what it was. I remember last year, I said, you know what, this whole first year is just a give me. The thing with Emery, which was lucky, is no one expected Arsenal to be in the final of Europa or anywhere near the top 4. We weren't supposed to. He was pulling up, as what they say, pulling up chickens.
trees,
Pulling up trees, sorry. Pulling up chickens. He's pulling up trees, you get me? And he was just way ahead. We weren't meant to be there. You know what I mean?
You weren't meant to, but people were saying this guy's a Europa League general, man. He gets people to the
did
final,
say that.
man.
Yeah, because he's been to the final. But listen, it's like it's the same as what they say with Jose now. Everyone suddenly now expects Spurs to go and win that something because Jose's there, innit? So Emery calls like Europa, yeah, they expect to do something. But in the league, we were lucky. You know what I mean? Because everyone else was just suffering. We weren't meant to be. That's why when it came to crunch time, no one could believe it. It was like, 5 games, you only have to win 2.
No.
Or
Yeah, he
2.
needed 1. We finished a point behind
And
Spurs.
then Europa League, he was in the final. So it's like you got a gimme. But his mistake was he put the big team against Valencia and then the crap team against Palace. And then we battered Valencia and lost to Palace when he should have done it the other way around.
I don't even think you should have done it the other way. You could have just played. You played Guendouzi and El Neni at home against Palace. You win that, we're in top 4. Even if we'd got spanked by Chelsea, you would have gave him leeway purely for the sense that we're in the Champions League.
But regardless, he's gone now. This is 18 months. After 18 months, you should have a style of play. When he came, his style of play was, he kept saying, we're going to build from the back. We're going to do this. Our first 2 games, we got killed by City. Even Chelsea, we should have battered Chelsea because we should have won that game. But he had a philosophy. And I remember Gary Neville saying...
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Gary Neville said his mistake he made at Valencia was he picked his team. When shit went south, he
changed
switched
it,
it. And he said that's what he kept saying. Emery shouldn't do
Because
that.
the players won't rate you after that. They're
Players don't
like,
rate you. Emery made too many mistakes that no matter what happens in the world of football now, social media, everything gets publicized. You made a mistake with your captain. You made a mistake with your team. There's only so long, as Nacy said, that you can chop and change before you start getting found out. You cannot continuously every week pick the wrong players.
You know what's wicked about that? The players can't even adapt to your system. Even if they don't like the system, you're not usually you're a player that's set to play 4-4-2 and he brings a different formation in and you're looking like, so I'm going to have to adapt to this formation to get into the team. Okay, let me start working on it. By the time you start working on it, this guy's going to go and switch it again on you. And the player's like, you what? Nah. You're literally coming at...
Last week I'm in the 3, today I'm in the 4. The other day I was standing next to him, now I'm standing next to him and I'm on the other side. You know what I mean? It doesn't make no sense.
Do you man play Football Manager?
Nah, I used to. I was a big...
So when you play Football Manager, your players need to get familiar with a team. That's a computer game. If you start switching up, the results ain't going to be there. When Emery's putting out a diamond and a 2 up front of Valencia, but then he goes with Guendouzi and El Neni at home to Palace, it don't work. Like Ozil should never have started that Europa League final. Should never. You never play Ozil in a 3-5-2 and expect him to man Mark Jorginho. It makes no sense. He was just so pragmatic with his changes.
You have to work on it.
Just keep it.
I've done a little bit of coaching with some young ones, and it took almost about 10 games for me to explain to one little kid that I need you to play holding midfielder.
Just keep
it. And that means you don't run into the box and abandon my back 4 and leave them exposed. After 10 games, it took about 8, 9, 10 games before he finally clocked it.
You can't. I'll never forget the Europa League game I watched, and he told Torreira to go up, attacking mid. And
Look at Old Trafford.
I couldn't believe it because I'll never forget this game because I remember the ball got sprayed to the right, and Torreira was running. You know, Torreira's tiny as hell. His legs are just running, and he looked up, and all he had was Laka, and Laka looked at him like, "Just whip it." You know that cross behind the defense, just whip it. Laka was thinking, if you whip it correct, I'm gonna score. Torreira put all his might into that thing. And the first man cleared it. Torreira was burst. Torreira was looking at the side like, why am I here?
Yeah, of course.
And Laka was looking at him like, why are you
Look at Old Trafford. We went to Old Trafford. Look, I'll be honest. As crap as Arsenal are, United are worse. I don't care what anyone says, yeah? And we went there with Ollie at the wheel and you play Torreira, yeah? You play Torreira behind Uber. United were there for the taking and you play Torreira behind Uber. It don't make sense.
Segue. Only at the wheel, man. Only at the wheel. Because City earlier said, the style of play was lacking. So, obviously, as a United fan, Kev, what?
Bear in mind that I did watch your game today in full.
Okay, so City.
I did see what
we can break it down. In terms of the style of play, though, what are we seeing from United? Is it a thing where, because I'm going to start by saying, we have to be mindful in this whole squad of 25, whatever, Ollie's picked 3 players for him. Because he might be saying, I like Rashford, I like Fred, I like these guys, but he has, I'm just saying, that's my disclaimer. Because think about it, yeah? How many managers can come in, yeah? And obviously that's why Lampard's doing a great job, because he didn't pick any of the players. But a lot of managers usually need their players for what they want to do.
So that means our players are shit then. See, I like to simplify what can be simplified. Our players, Lampard's gone in there, and you've got players that are adaptable. Yeah, those players are good players at Chelsea.
Sorry to cut you. Let's not forget when everyone says Chelsea, they couldn't buy no one. Let's really deep the fact that most of Chelsea's team are still intact. They only lost Hazard. Mount's come in. Abraham's come in and that. Reece James hasn't really, you get me, he's been on the cusp of the team. But the majority of that team are still there. I'll call the centre-backs as well. Because Tomori and whatever, they've come in. Zuma. But Zuma's been there. Zuma was there when all the big boys were there. Yeah. Azpilicueta's not gone. Kepa's been there for a while.
The spine is still there.
The spine of that team is still there. So it's just the little things. But again, Lampard was cool because he knows Mount, so he knows what Mount can do.
From Derby, innit?
Yeah, from Derby. He knows what the youngers can do. You get me? And Jody Morris as well. So it's not really a bad thing. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, don't get me wrong, praise where praise due. I actually like watching Chelsea. Because Chelsea actually played decent ball. I've said that in the group that they're good. But the spine of the team is still intact. If you still have Kante, You still have Jorginho. Kovacic has been in the best team in the world
By the way,
for the
he's
past
trash,
few
but
years.
he's been playing well this
But he's
season.
Who's that?
playing well.
Kovacic?
But
You
he's
get
been
me?
playing well this season.
Kepa, Aspilicueta, the spine of that team, or the guys that have been there,
Willian, they're all there,
all
bro.
there. You know what I mean? So they're still there. Whereas our two teams, the spine is
There's no spine.
There's no spine.
Spineless.
Today
Like
I watched-
Maguire got bought obviously to try and help out, like to start what Ollie's trying to do, which is why I'm going back to say Ollie's only had one. Is it one window?
I'm not.
Yeah, one window, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So, what are we talking about? His style of play?
yeah, the style of play at United. Are you confident that there will be a style of play eventually, like after a couple windows, or is it kind of you've seen enough from Ollie like to see that nah, he's not the man for this?
Okay. The style of play will be. The style of play, he might be able to do something. I don't think he's that bad. I think tactically, he's out of his depth. I feel like he's learning on the job when it comes to tactical decisions. I want to put it out there clear. You see, like Jose Mourinho, yeah? I don't like the guy, simple and plain. But I feel like none of us can deny his tactical ability or savviness when it
We
comes
saw
to
that.
making
We saw that Spurs versus Olympiacos the other day.
well, his
Took
whole
off my man
his
half an
whole-
hour.
His whole career from Porto, however, Sporting, he's been he's tactically, he came up like that was his thing. So tactics is something I feel like Ole is learning on the job, and sometimes you see it in the game. But then what you can hide behind is our team is so poor. We don't have these players, and we don't have the right players in the positions. We are playing with Fred, we are playing with Pereira, and they are now discovering themselves. Something that should be against. Like, how can you be? Listen, if Pereira and Fred, for example, were at, like, this was another time, they are doing literally what they should be doing on loan at United. You see where you go and learn and how to play football and become a man. They're doing that at United right now. Trial and error. They're actually learning how to play football at United.
Yeah.
And we are suffering for it.
Yeah, is that more Ollie or the board though? Because the board should have.
So
I'm sure
I
Ole
feel
identified he
I
wants
feel
to
what
see
City
him.
was touching on with the way, and Ibs as well, what they were touching on, how things have changed. I think like these managers go with their hit list and say, can you provide this for me? This is the players I've identified I'd like. And they literally go, I think what happened with Ole is they said, we can't get none of those, but this is what we can get.
Which is probably why Mourinho fell out of them as well, because he probably came with the list.
And Ole in the summer went,
Okay.
no. If you can't, I'll take, these are what, the ones you said on my list. The ones you said on my list are, Wan-Bissaka, yes. Maguire, yes.
Yeah.
Daniel James, yes.
Yeah.
The rest of them, no. I didn't ask you for those.
Because it's more dead wood.
I'm not gonna let you do a Sanchez to me and give me something I didn't ask for and then be judged upon it later on.
Ollie said the money is there on the right players. He kept on stressing that it's the right players. He wants a certain type of player.
But is it the right players, or do the players even want to come that he wants?
No, so that's another thing.
That's
Yeah,
the thing, because everyone can say they want the right players. I'm very sure if you said to Pep today, who do you like? Pep wanted Maguire.
Yeah.
He didn't get him. Like, if you want the player, you can want them, but will they actually come to your team? Obviously, Maguire would have gone to City if they played the piece, but who thing he wants, he might not. Moyes, look at Moyes. Moyes wanted Cruz. Like, when he wanted Cruz,
Fabregas, bro.
he wanted everyone. But when Moyes wanted Cruz, that was before Cruz went Madrid. He wrote his hit list and they didn't give it to him. You can write your players, but do your players want to even be in your team?
Yeah, but I think that at that time, I feel like Moyes, anyway, I don't even want to talk about that situation because that was so lost because you didn't even identify that you don't have no respect in the game yet.
But
you're
thought-
just
he
you're
thought the
just
name
at
of United would be-
Yeah, you just think.
But does Ole have that respect?
I don't think he's got that kind of hit list. From the time he's Daniel James is included in that list, I feel like he's more like pragmatic. I feel like he picks what is actually gonna suit the team more and not go for the big name.
Because he knows that he's a small boy in this coaching team. He's not going to go and buy a superstar.
You've got to be the one signing Kante before he went to Leicester.
Yeah.
You've got to be that's United are gonna, if we're gonna have a strategy, that's the strategy you've got to come with. Players who aren't, it's not so obvious, but they've got the attributes to be the next big thing. Which means, yes, the budget comes down, and I think
Which also means it's going to be time. But with these results that's happening now, and you know this whole microwave errors, this social media, everything's quick. The fan cams.
He'll get a sack before then because the players are that poor. Unfortunately, it's not fair.
Because the next two games is Tottenham and City.
The sack is gonna come. We're not. What Arsenal don't sack a manager.
They are now. They're in that team.
Arsenal don't go and sack a manager and are ahead of us, and we're beneath them, and we give our manager more time.
No. But you can give him more time. That's what I'm asking you now. You're saying he's not gonna last, but would you keep him? Can you see what he's trying to do? Can you see that way he's trying to go with his team? Can you see that he's trying to build something here? Look at the thing we watched just now when I showed you.
I can't see anything. I watch United and I can't see anything. I can't tell you what he wants to try and do because I just know that I can't associate any blame on Ole because the players are so poor.
Yeah, so
if
would you
he
give him
asks
time
him to
then?
do
That's what I'm
something, they're so performing under a level that you're like, I can't even give. Like the players are kind of. Nessie's always got this thing about players being accountable over the managers. This one, he would destroy that argument right now because most of the Arsenal and United, the players are doing so much trash where you're like, you got a case for the manager. They should hold smoke if they're not, the formation's not correct and stuff. But nah, it's like the players are doing like the errors they're making, dwindling on the ball and stuff. It's like literally, I can see myself in some of these teams.
Sid, would you obviously from outside looking in, you're a rival Arsenal fan, but can you see what Ole's trying to do, or is it like Arsenal United just have
when I look at United, I look at some of their signings. Okay, they're his signings, like Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's rated as probably first or second best right back in the league. Sorry, in terms of stats. But I watched a guy today who's still needs to work on his attacking. And I said that today. There were times today where he was like, when the right back passes the ball to the winger and they're ready for the overlap. But you could look at him and see he didn't really want to overlap. He was kind of just running there for the sake of running.
I think he's got worse than what he was at Crystal Palace.
I feel like asked to do different stuff. He's asked to do different things.
Yeah, so I feel like the level.
Defensively, he's still the same. He's still there. These last ditch
I feel like
tackles,
he
I
wasn't
think.
that bad going forward.
Okay. The thing about Wan-Bissaka is he's a good defender, but he was top stats for slide tackles. But why is a defender always slide tackling? Why are they not?
No. There was times that he didn't need to slide, but he was slide. That's just the way.
My point exactly.
No. It's not just positioning. There's times he just lunges because that's the way he plays.
But you've got to understand the top defenders.
Yeah, Van Dijk rarely
come
slides
off their feet because a defender should anticipate danger. So when he's making these challenges and he's top for slide tackles, I think okay, that's all fine and dandy. But how many of them are last ditch because you've put yourself in trouble anyway? Positionally, you shouldn't be in that position.
I get you, but there's times he's one-on-one and he just lunges in and he gets the ball. That's the way he plays.
But regardless, I think the thing with him, I look at the game today and I think, okay, that's an Ole guy, right? And not to say they shouldn't have bought him, but he's not an attacking defender. He's a defender's defender. You know what I mean? As a fullback. So if you know his attacking attributes are not there, although he used to be a winger growing up, then you're saying basically, okay, so if he doesn't attack, he just does the defending. Your right winger has to be on job and doing everything, right? So you need a destructive winger who basically has no defensive duties. So he would suit someone like the old Ronaldo who did no defending because Wan-Bissaka's there. But if you're going to say, okay, because everyone knows, most teams now, it's all fullbacks who do like you get me, like us, Emery wanted to do the fullbacks to do the attacking. So you're basically saying...
Trent is the best example of that.
So Trent. So you're basically saying, okay, cool. Wan-Bissaka's never really going to move. That means you're relying on your left side to be like doing... Like your left fullback has to be on job.
Which is a young boy right now because he's basically replaced Luke Shaw.
Because Luke Shaw's not in the team.
Oh, God.
So it's like there's the balance in your team is too lopsided. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but these things that you're saying is temporary. Surely they can identify this and make changes. That's what I'm saying.
It is, but the issue you've got, me and Kevin spoke the other day, is like United are United, right? They're still the biggest club in the world. You know what I mean? The money's still coming in, whatnot. But on the playing scale of things, you're not there. You're basically in the toilet. Same with everyone else. So it's like, who will even come? Because top players don't want to just go anywhere now. It's like when we had that debate the last time, would a player go Liverpool or United.
With the Sancho thing.
With the Sancho thing. If Liverpool and United both put a piece of paper on the table and say go, he might pick United because he knows he'll play every game. But if he really wants to win stuff, he's going Liverpool. Players going United now, similar to going Arsenal, you're going there if you've got years. Basically, you might have a year or two to waste. Will Ole be afforded the time to basically solidify a team and positions and whatnot? Because if those three are his keepers sorted, keepers for life. Your right back's your right back. You've got Maguire. He's there.
Maguire. Sorry to cut you off with Maguire. Yeah. My thing with Maguire is this: he had a good World Cup, same as Stone,
And a good season.
Now Paul Merson said something that really hits the nail, and this guy ain't the smartest guy. Yeah. You play a back three because your centre backs are not good enough to play in a back two. Simple as that, and it makes sense. You play a back three because your centre back's not good enough to play in a back two.
Yeah.
At Leicester, all he had to do was clear the ball. Play up to Vardy. Soak it up, play to Vardy. Here, they want him to play. And I've seen Maguire for 6 months now.
Nah, Maguire brings the ball out, man. No.
Exactly. And then he gets caught. Stone starts the exact same thing.
He's been asked to do something because the people in front of him are so shit. Yeah, all he should have to do is pass it to that. Remember how Scholes used to come and collect the ball from the centre back sometimes, spin it, and then create the play. That's what.
Because even with that, like what he's talking about, Rio used to come out with the ball, but like I said, Scholes used to come and collect it off him.
But this is what I'm saying.
Carrick,
He's not a ball playing centre back then.
He shouldn't have to be.
But you've signed a guy for 80 mil. I ain't signing him to just head. If my football generally comes around of us bringing the ball out the back.
Even though Van Dijk can do it, how much does he really do it in that Liverpool side?
But you've got to understand, the way Liverpool play is Fabinho drops and makes it into a free, the fullbacks bomb on, and then your wingers in Mane and Salah become inside forwards. So it turns into like a 3-5-3 or 3-4-3.
My point is how much.
Whereas United ain't doing that. Okay, Wan-Bissaka was a good example. He's not going to go forward, right? So because you don't go forward, you're going to have a back four. Now, what Mourinho's doing at Tottenham is quite smart. He knows Aurier is going to bomb on. So he makes sure that Vertonghen slides in and makes it a free. So when Aurier pushes on as a fullback, you have a 3-4-3. If you ain't got the personnel to do it, don't play like that. So tell Maguire, fam, when you get it, give it to Fred or hit Rashford over the top. Simple as that.
Right, what would you do? Because
Maguire?
No, with that United team, because when you've never thought how actually shit they are. Now when you think of what, because I thought, what would y'all do? Then I realised, Ole's just messed up. He's just messed up.
I'll tell you what I'd do.
He can't do much different.
You bought Maguire, so he has to play. Bailly has to play, even though he's injury prone. You'll play Wan-Bissaka. Personally, you need a new. You gonna play Lindelof?
I think you play Twanzebe. Twanzebe for
and then
me.
Listen, then you play your left back. I don't know about your left back, yeah? I don't know about your left back. McTominay's got to play. I don't rate him highly, but he's got to play. He's like Declan Rice. They're not great, but they just
do the job.
It's on the tin. They're like, what's that thing called?
Lack of quality.
They're on the tin. Ronsil, whatever it is, yeah? So McTominay's got to play. Now, you've got one of the best midfielders in the world sitting on your sidelines, and you lot are treating him like trash. Pogba. He has to be your focal point. I don't know who you play in front of him. Maybe Lingard, maybe Mata. No, but I'm just saying, I don't know your squad. But then you got a front three. Rashford, I like, but I wouldn't put him through the middle unless you're playing a two. So he has to go on the left. Give it to Martial. Tell Martial, I just want you in and around the 18-yard box. Don't drift. Just be a striker. Kind of like a Trezeguet mode. Just stay there. Then you have Daniel James. That's your team. And Pogba will be behind Martial.
So Pogba's not in the team.
No, I did. Pogba's there.
No.
Now he's not.
So now what do you do?
You got to play Fred.
I mean, it just shows right now what Oli has at his resources.
I feel sorry for Oli because he ain't got the personnel.
I can't even judge him.
No,
so
you
we
can't.
We can get smoked by a team.
All I'm saying.
And I look at it and I go, like today, like someone went to me, we've lost and no, what were you saying?
No, I said, you telling me, I said, oh man, we dropped more points, man. Like, you was like, bro, why you getting so, I said, bro, but you were effing and blinding during the game. And then you said, but I'm calm now. Once the result is done.
As soon as the whistle's blown, like there used to be that period where you're like, oh man, but like with me, it's just gone.
See, I get
straight
that.
away.
I have that watching Arsenal during the game. So I understand what you mean, but for me, United are in such a weird transition. I'll tell you where they messed up. They should never have hired Moyes. they should have hired Van Gaal or Mourinho
How
then.
can we be? How can that
And
still-
no, I'll tell you why. Moyes is the type of guy who needs to come in when the ship has been settled. You brought Moyes in to handle Rio. He wanted to bring in Jagielka. Rio must have thought, hold on. You want to replace me with Jagielka?
He disrespected
Evra.
the whole backroom stuff.
All senior players were disrespected.
Evra. You wanted to bring in Baines. Evra's looking at you like,
Everybody
what?
was disrespected.
And
Every
you messed up.
single person.
But forget that. Moving forward,
Bring Mourinho in earlier and you wouldn't be in this
moving forward, if I'm United, and I said this to Kevin the other day, if it's me, I go and I get Allegri. The reason I get Allegri is because it's more inclined that Pogba will stay because he knows Allegri.
Nah, man. If Pogba wants to leave, and I'm saying he's a top
Pogba
player,
should leave
but
anyway.
yeah, man, it's done.
leave.
It's the end of the road for
Yeah.
Pogba.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying,
the
but
reason-
bro,
no,
nah,
the reason
man.
why I was when we first
Yeah,
spoke,
I
I
said it.
agreed with you, and I heard
Okay,
the
so
sense.
if Pogba
No.
goes-
When you said it, I
Yeah,
agreed
yeah.
with you,
Okay.
and I understood the sense.
Yeah.
Having thought of it more, the transitionary period that's gonna have to take place is at least 3 years of nonsense, and this guy's in his prime. 3 years of nonsense has to go before we get close, in my opinion, because I feel like we're gonna need like 9 transfer windows. You know, I'm not even exaggerating. Yeah, I feel like we need 9 transfer windows to get rid of the players because you can only get rid of before
many,
you
yeah.
get every window they're gonna turn around and go, no, my contract's too sweet.
Can you afford to sit for 4 seasons and watch your team be so bad?
Look at Liverpool.
Freedom, man. Freedom.
Look at
No, no, no,
Liverpool.
go on.
Okay.
Liverpool went through the Roy Hodgson years with Jay Spear and
Alright.
Andy Carroll,
You know what?
Dudley.
You know what's funny, yeah? You know
They've
what's
done
funny?
that. Look at them. Look, they've gone through the pain to look what
Okay,
they're doing
you have
now.
to remember, Liverpool, you know what? Liverpool, anyway, they're the media darlings, so they get away with a lot of shit.
They
because
do, they do.
When they were crying, Arsenal were 10 years, Liverpool were 9. They were only a year behind us. You know what I mean? Before they started win. I think, what did they win for?
The
Carling
FA Cup against
no,
West Ham.
they won FA Cup.
Yeah, against
no,
West
no,
Ham.
yeah, that was their last win.
That one,
But
Carling
then-
Cup against Birmingham.
Oh yeah, Carling Cup against Birmingham, and they even almost lost that.
Yeah, on penalties.
And then after that, they didn't win nothing until when last year.
What do you mean? What? They won Champions League, dude?
Yeah, last year. That's what I'm saying. They hadn't won nothing
Yeah,
for
yeah,
time
for a
until
while.
now. But their transitional period, cool. They've had a lot of closer and closer. You get me, like the Gerrard slip and that. But they allowed Klopp the time. They've told him, "What are you doing?" He said, "This is my way," and he's picked players that he knows. are
Which
gonna
begs the
work.
question: if you give Ollie that time, can he in 2-3 years have United back on the top of the leaderboard? Can he have United? I'm not saying the Fergie years, but if you give him 3 more seasons, can he come out with a Rashford at 26, a Martial at
Tell you what,
27?
let me tell you something.
We
Let
don't
me
know
tell you something there. Let me tell you something there.
Quantity.
Possibly he can get them there and not be the man to take them over the line. So I've always said Oli might not be the man for the future, but he's the man for now. So I stay with, I'm firm with that thought that we'll let him do what he's doing and finish his process, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, but if he gets one last thing, so if you finish 8th or 9th this season, which is very likely that any one
Are we
of us
talking
can
Arsenal
fin-
here or United?
both of us.
Yep.
Do you still allow Ollie to see next year?
Do you know what? I would say yes, purely on the basis that he would have the same job Brendan Rodgers has now. You play once a week, your players are fresh, you ain't got to worry about traveling to Kazakhstan for away games on Thursday. You just play once a week. You can tell your guys, let's just go for it.
Yeah.
Didn't Van Gaal have that?
No.
No.
Van Gaal was in Europa League, bro. Van Gaal, no.
Who was your manager that had once?
We've always been in Europe. There's never been a 1 game a week.
When you finished 7th, the next year, when you bought Falcao and that,
We came in and out.
when you finished 7th and you had Falcao, you bought Falcao and all them, man, and you played once a week. Who was your manager?
Was it Louis?
It was Louis.
Louis won a trophy, so you can't really cuss Louis.
Yeah, man. Quickly, because we're going to talk about boxing, man. We're going to hurry this next bit up. But Liverpool, man. City dropped points again. And it's looking like the title's going to go to Merseyside this
It's
year.
been 30 years. They kind of need it. But if they don't win it, then that's it. They're not going to win it for another 10 years. They would have bottled everything if they don't win it.
But this would have been
This is it. If
this
they don't
has
win
to
it,
be
that's it. If they don't win it,
It's written in the stars for you because
If
you're
they-
winning last
no,
minute games and
it's-
City are
it's
dropping
even
points.
deeper than that. If they don't win the league this year, the other big teams are going to come and collect those top players from them. They're going to make those bids, and I don't know what the status is, but they're going to struggle to keep.
And you reckon the players would leave though?
Yeah.
Mane would dip to Spain
He'll
if
be
a
like,
big club
no,
comes.
Yeah, I think it's
If you don't win the league, or if you
they need that league.
But if they win the league, they'll dominate for
The
3
thing
4
with
years.
Liverpool is it's now or never.
Yeah, my point
literally, it is now or never because it's similar to Tottenham. Tottenham have taken advantage of the fact that United, Arsenal, and Chelsea have become shit in the past 5 years. So Spurs have thought, oh, even Liverpool have gone forward because us three have become so bad.
We allowed Spurs to build their stadium. That's actually how
They
deep
would
it
have built
is.
it regardless.
Nah,
but-
they would have taken them
it's
longer.
true. Yeah, it would have taken them
would've
longer. It would
struggled.
have taken them. We've allowed these teams to build because we've all become so shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because Leicester shouldn't really be there. But because we've all become so bad, these teams have all, you get me, gone up. But if Liverpool do not, I believe they will. It disgusts
For
me, but they will.
me, that it just feels like, obviously managers want to win it all, but Pep has won the league. This would be the three-peat, innit?
Yeah.
Champions League is what he wants in my eyes.
And I don't think they
Yeah,
can get it.
and Liverpool won the Champions League 2 years in a row now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not once.
Not once, sorry.
But
What?
2 finals.
Yeah, 2 finals. That's it. Yeah. I mean,
I believe if you ask Pep and Klopp, they'll just say
Exactly.
let's swap for a year.
if
happy.
obviously it's not as easy as that, but yeah, basically I think that's the
they'd
case.
say let's just swap for a year.
But I don't think City will win it.
No,
I'm not saying City
I don't
will,
think
but I'm
they will.
saying
No.
they might put their
I've-
energy
yeah.
proper into Champions League
I don't
because Pep hasn't won it for Bayern. People say, oh yeah, man, you've only won it with Messi, basically. Like he wants to show that he's a top manager that he can win Champions Leagues.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
I think if Liverpool don't do it this year, the team starts looking left and right because then it's like, are we ever gonna? Because I'm telling you now, no matter how crap we are, we can't all be this crap again.
You know, I don't understand. With this whole, even if we to answer the question about Ole can be given the time. The recruiting, was it all done by of Leicester's, for example? Has it been being done by Rodgers, or have they got a team in the background that are doing their recruitment? They've got a director of football. So how comes United, as big as they are, they can't go and swipe that guy?
Look who you've got. You've got Woodward, bro.
Bruv, so
That guy's still there arguing with Fergie and Stans because he's got that power.
No,
the
but
guy
it
ain't
don't-
even football related.
it doesn't
He's not
even
gonna
matter.
shift
Like,
it.
so all the any other sport in like in the NBA, wherever you go, they swipe people good at their jobs. And if someone else is doing well and have proven it, they've gone through how many transitions now? They've transitioned again. How are Leicester transitioning a team, and United haven't been able to do it once since Fergie left? They've lost the team, a core of a team, and now they've rebuilt again.
Say Mahrez.
And then now they what? Where are they lying in the league? Second.
Second, yeah.
Well. And United and when's the last time United touched second in the league?
When Mourinho first
Marino. No, when he first came.
And that was and even
Second
that
season.
that was only because other people were flopping. Like I will always say we got that second because no one else was.
Liverpool, man.
I respect Liverpool. You know, they've done. I was even arguing with one of the Liverpool guys today, one of my boys, and I said, listen, it's only because everyone's so crap that you're there. Don't get me wrong, their team is very good. It's well oiled. Everyone knows their job. That first 11 and then maybe 2 or 3 after that are sick. They can all get into any team, regardless. Whether or not they can sustain it, who knows? Because when it gets to like, everyone knows, when it gets January, Feb, it starts getting sticky.
Mane goes.
But listen, Mane, Firmino, and my boy is Sports Liverpool, sorry, he said, Mane, Firmino, Van Dijk. If one of those 3 goes out for a very long time, the team just starts looking one kind.
Just give me 6 weeks of one of those out. Give me 6 weeks without Mane.
I'm sure that list you would have put
I
Alisson
feel
there
like
as well,
he'll
bro.
go.
But Alisson, you saw when he went out, they were still winning, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Those 3, because those 3 are the real. I'm not even saying Salah.
Salah's
Salah
polished.
can go. No joke. Salah could sit out for 3 weeks. You want me to? It's Mane, Firmino,
100.
and Van Dijk.
100.
One of those 3 out for a sustained period.
That's what I said.
We'll know what they're
I
about.
think human are underrating the fullbacks, right? I reckon if Trent and all these, because the way they play,
part of
the
the team. They're
fullbacks
of the
are part
puzzle.
of that style of play.
They're part of the puzzle.
And if you take him out, who's the fullbacks, bro? Gomez. Okay, but he doesn't do what Trent does or Robertson.
No, I'm not saying they.
So if
do.
one of those go out as well,
No,
put them
you
on
know
that
what it
list.
is, yeah, they don't. But Liverpool right now, there's just an aura. It's just.
Bro,
an
it's
aura.
scary.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
as like I'm watching Man United in the Fergie days.
Bro,
They'll
right
go
now,
1-1 and you just know they're gonna score again.
You know what it is? It's Man
mentality.
United at Fergie's days. It's Arsenal in Invincible days. It's City at Cody. You just know they're gonna score. Even now, I could look on the app and I'll see, Liverpool 1-0 down. I don't even think anything.
Same here. That's what's getting on my nerves now.
Even when the last couple games they've had, Palace and Villa, even when it was 1-1, like 1-0, 1-1, I remember my boy was just like, oh yeah, we're going to lose now. Finally, we're going to lose. I just said, nah, you'll win. Yeah. And I just see 2-1. I don't even blink.
They're just finding a way to win.
Finding a way. Like, there's an aura. The team knows what it's on. Everyone.
So
opponents are have that fear factor in them. Yeah. They know. Oh no, here we go. They look. It goes out for a corner. They look to the right. They see it's Mane standing there, Firmino standing there, Van Dijk coming up for the header, and they just shook.
And they have it more than City now. Like teams are going through. I watched this Newcastle game against City.
But it's like
they were playing.
There's something about City that is just. It's like, it's like when you've done everything, you know what I mean? It's like that whole, can't be bothered. Like the Premier League's a marathon. They don't care about it anymore. They've done it 2 years. They want the big thing now. They want the Champions League. So for them, it's like, Newcastle again. You know what I mean? To get yourself riled up for it. That's why they say the hardest thing is to retain a title. Because
they've got 2 in a row, yeah?
Two in a row, yeah.
Three-peating is, how many people are three-peating?
Not a lot. We did, United did it.
United never did it. Arsenal never did it. Arsenal didn't even retain it. Chelsea, I think Chelsea retained it once. United done the three-peat. That period,
it's hard to do, man.
And that period,
and that's and that free-peat. You got to remember, that free-peat was
we did it early 90s.
We did it in the 90s.
No, you did it 99, 2000, 2001. Yeah. That 3 years.
Both were strong. The 07-1 was, bro, come on, Tevez, Nani. Yeah. Like, you were talking about how, you know what?
You want to bring it up?
I wanted to bring that up, yeah.
Bring up.
Sports Group today, yeah. I'm not going to make it United thing. Let's talk in general. But earlier, when United played, when Norwich played Arsenal, Kev said, nah, man, we need to get this Aarons, the right back. And immediately the guys jumped on him, but you got Wan-Bissaka, what do you mean? And they were saying, you've already got a top player. Why would you? That's not a priority. Kev was saying
how badly we've fallen off where we're thinking you've got one top player. Why do you need a second one?
Talk in general.
Whereas back in the day when we in our successful periods, how many top players were battling for a position in both of our teams? We had how many players going in?
I think
so. The question, what I'm trying to say is that kind of. Should teams be going for that?
And City have that.
Like basically buying top players in each position, or is it like that shouldn't be the case?
It's different now. Players won't stick around. When you had Fergie and you had Cole, York, Sheringham, and Solskjaer, he told Cole and York, "You're my first two, but if you man flop, Sheringham's there, Solskjaer's there." But they even knew you weren't first choice. You'll come in. Players won't sit there like that anymore. Look at Odoi. Sorry, if he didn't get that contract, he wanted to ship. Like, because players don't want to sit on the bench anymore and fight. They want to go in and say, I'm the main man or I'm going. Because they can go elsewhere and just play.
No, but, okay.
Players, like, if you've got Max Aarons, or who's 21, 22, do I want to battle Wan-Bissaka for 3-4 years?
I don't see why you wouldn't,
go
though.
Up to 26, or do I want to go somewhere else and play? It's what City said. If you have years, play.
But, okay, look at City. City, I swear he spent like 150 on 3 full-backs.
You got Pep. It's the manager as well. It's also the manager. You will do it for a manager.
For me,
I'm not going to do it for Oli.
If it was me, I'll have all the best players.
Thank you. I don't understand.
No, of course you want to have the best players, but at the same time, players don't want to necessarily stay because they get frustrated.
I think
the question wasn't about the players; it's about you. Would you have 2 good guys in your team?
Of course. I'd want to have the Wan-Bissakas.
If I've got Wan-Bissaka and then Aarons becomes available and they say, I'm taking him as well.
Because they'll push each other.
They'll push each other, and also you've got a variation. If you want to go attacking, you got an attacking. You want to go defense, you got.
That's why I said it. No, that's why I said it. Because when I said Nani, I was talking about, because we spoke about that 07 team. Tevez, Ronaldo, Nani, Rooney.
I would want that, but I feel like it's very hard right now unless you've got a really top manager who will really install that mentality. Because a lot of players will say, I'm dipping out because I don't want to. It's the player mentality.
That's how far United have fallen. Where we take literally now, basically the club's not big enough to do that. To have 2 top players in it.
The club is big enough. But that's what I mean. I get what you're saying, because as I said, Liverpool, they have 11 and then they literally have 4. After that 4, the rest are basic as hell. So, but Klopp has instilled it that 14, 15 players know they are the elite. And everyone else, you just come in when you're needed. You know what I mean? But You look at United, you look at Arsenal.
City. We're talking about City. Sane is coming back, bro.
Now, United's team, forget what was planned today. There was a time where, let's say, start of season where the team was fully fit, and you still look at a fully fit squad, and you look at the bench, and you still say, this bench is trash.
Pogba's out, and now we're looking at Fred Pereira. Like, my point is that City, you got when Sane was doing madness. They didn't rest on the laurels. They went to go and buy Mahrez.
Yeah, of course.
So, I think... But, man. All right, cool. That's done. Yeah, man. AJ.
No,
Yeah?
save it.
Yeah? You going to say that?
Yeah.
All right, 2 sets, lads. Nah, I'm gonna carry on anyway. But,
Carry on.
yeah, man. AJ Ruiz. Saudi Arabia. It's coming, baby.
Fan me.
You know what? I'm gonna ask for predictions because before we break it down and talk about the fight,
This one's got.
you know what? We'll do it the other way around. Let's break down the
This
fight.
one's got Mayweather vibes all over. This is Mayweather packed kind of situation. Same level fight. If people aren't in watching that fight, this is a huge fight. I don't usually watch. If it was nighttime, it was 3-4 a.m. I'd make sure I was up for that fight.
Yeah,
Like,
the card's at 5 p.m. I've been
yeah, I
told.
wouldn't want to miss that. This one's wild.
If AJ loses this, Ibs, well, you're a boxing guy, yeah.
Yeah.
If AJ loses this, what happens?
I can see him leaving Eddie Hearn.
Whoa, I didn't expect that answer.
I don't think Eddie's great for him. I think Eddie's good for the business, but I feel like Eddie's not great for his people, i.e. Dylan White, i.e. Chisora. I don't think he's great for his people. Chisora's with Hay. But anyway, if AJ loses, it will be a catastrophe. This is like a must win. And I feel like the best for him to do is use his range and just do a Klitschko for 12 rounds, take your pelts and go home. See what these Boltons used to do back in the day. They get the 1-0 and go home. Sam Adidas will be happy. Yeah. AJ's got to go there, box him for 12, just keep him at a distance, take the belt and say, I'm going home. Because if he gets into a slugfest,
Sidi,
it's a wrap.
has he got that in him? Can you learn something like that in a 6-week training? Not 6 weeks, if had longer, but how long training camp?
Training
6 weeks, 8 weeks.
12 weeks.
Can you learn that a new fighting style against a guy that's knocked you down? Yeah. Can you learn that and say I'm going to implement that boxing?
But he did it against Parker.
Yes, you don't need to learn.
He did it against Parker. Parker was a boring. I'm going to keep Parker because everyone said Parker's quick. Parker's got quick hands. He kept Parker at a distance. I think Parker really hit him once. Look, the size difference. If Fury fought Ruiz now, Fury will box him off for 12 rounds and probably in the 11th round think, you know what, this is boring. All you got to do is keep him at a distance, take the titles and go home. Because if you make it into a slugfest and lose, Fury won't touch you. Wilder won't touch you. None of them will touch you.
Why did AJ against Parker do that? Because they said Parker had fast hands, yeah?
Yeah, and Parker, to be fair, I watched Parker against Ruiz and Parker looks good. And you nullify you. The thing is, boxing, that's why Mayweather's the best. Mayweather want the greatest. He want he's the greatest, but he want Pacquiao. He's not even like a Hatton who's going to try and slug. He said to you, look, you're going to come, I'm just going to box you for 12 rounds. I'm just going to keep it at a distance, take my money, take my belt and go home. Boxing, it has to sometimes you have to just win ugly. And that's what AJ needs to do. Because if he goes into a slug, this Ruiz, bro, this Mexican can move. His hands are a joke. And you saw what he did to AJ.
You know what? I don't think it's even just Ruiz in terms of... I agree with what you said, but I thought AJ, when AJ gets into them kind of trades, he always comes out short. AJ, if you've noticed, he's very good at throwing, but once he receives that first one, he shells up and he just covers up.
Do you not think
he doesn't want that smoke like that?
Do you not think he gasses a lot? Like he just watch that Klitschko fight. When Klitschko knocked him in the 5th, took him 3 rounds to adjust.
You know what?
I feel like even Takam, even against Pavectic, even against Parker, I feel like he just gasses and he don't know how to box. He's too big. I said from time.
He's
still
got weight
gonna
for this
have
fight
the
though.
power.
He looks slim now.
Good. He has to stay lean because you won't lose the power. Look at Wilder. The guy is so
Be
lean.
ready to fight 12 rounds, and he's fought so many fights where he knew he's had 8 rounds to fight. If any of those, some of those world title fights,
The Takam one went 12 and he didn't look good.
If they were to take him down the stretch, they would have won if they were able to do that. Some of them, they should have kept it moderately busy and just take it late. They would have beaten him because he was too big for a heavyweight. He was huge.
18 stone. Like, I get heavyweight, you can do what you want. But even, like, I thought Klitschko should have beat him. When Klitschko knocked him down, he had him. Klitschko could have just boxed.
And I was one of the people, and thank God Siddy's here for this. You see how God works. Me and Siddy had a big debate at the time, yeah? We went to go and watch Dillian White fight against Travis Brown live, and we were just talking about boxing. And I said, if AJ was fighting Wilder and AJ got knocked down the way Klitschko knocked him down, you know Klitschko still had some time to get him out of there, but he just didn't.
Yeah.
AJ's not coming out of that round against Wilder. I remember Siddy battling me, going, nah. Bro, AJ would not have come out of that round against Wilder.
When Klitschko knocked him, Klitschko should have just gone for the jugular. Klitschko would have boxed him off and said, you're a young pretender. You are not on my level. But Klitschko eased off and allowed AJ to come back. And when you got Wembley behind you, I'm going to box you. And that's it.
You know what he tried? Klitschko. I remember that fight. Klitschko tried to be patient because he's won for 10 straight years. He's always won, and he's been like, "I knocked you down, and I feel like I'm gonna be able to knock you down again. So I don't need to come rushing in right now. I will still make it happen." And I think that's where that confidence comes in. Whereas Wilder's naturally been like, if you're even
a killer
a little bit, if you see a little bit of blood,
he'll run to you.
then I have to make, literally, he'll run and punch, and he will work, and you will be you'll be sleeping on the floor.
Hey, Sid, Ruiz, does he come in as hungry? Because that first one, obviously, his first title fight. You know, now he's everywhere. He's even got some jewelry. He's living life. Got a big yard. Is he gonna have that same hunger, or can he do it again?
Ruiz has nothing to lose. Simple as that. He won. No one believed he'd win. Only him and his trainers. He's won. He's got all the bread. No matter what happens, even if he loses, he wins. He's in
the division now.
Like, people are gonna not want to know him. People don't want to see him. He could lose in dramatic fashion and literally just say, I want to fight Dillian White. If Dillian White wins, and he'll say, no, you fight me, winner fights Wilder. You know what I mean? Like, he's got a lot of cards on the table that he can do what he wants. Once you win a title, you're there. He was literally down here in the rankings, and now they talk about him as number one, number two. He's just surpassed everybody. He has nothing to lose. He can go in that fight, he can win. The thing is, with any form of fighting, the moment you're knocked out by someone, or even knocked down by someone, you have a psychological advantage over that person. So if that person hits you, even the slightest same way that you were hit before, you're gonna shell up.
The way AJ shows up, this is what I'm talking about.
And AJ's my guy, so it's not like, you get me. Let's not forget that. But he has to.
Say what you think. What do you really truly believe? Because I've seen. What do you believe in your heart is gonna happen? What do you believe?
If you want me to tell you what, in my heart, I have no idea.
No, no, I'll tell you why you can't do that. Did you watch the round table with Johnny Nelson?
Yeah, David Hay was dark.
You're basically David Hay.
I'm not watched it, so I don't know.
Because David Hay was
okay. So cool. Before that fight, and I'm very sure if I go through all the WhatsApp groups and I look, before that fight, if someone said to you, AJ Ruiz, what would you have said?
AJ, clean.
Exactly. But now, because AJ's lost, you're suddenly saying.
I believe.
I'm being honest. This is not offensive. This is fence. I'm on the fence. I actually don't.
You have to decide.
No, he said he don't know literally what's gonna happen that day.
Listen, I've seen. I'll even talk about UFC. Let's not forget UFC. Let's talk about. If we want to keep it at boxing, let's keep it at boxing, right? I've seen Lennox Lewis, right, lose to Oliver McCall, right? I've seen Lennox Lewis lose to Hasim Rahman, right? When Lewis lost to McCall, no one could believe it. But if you do your research on that fight, the reason he lost to McCall is because McCall was trained by the legendary Mr. Stewart. You know what I mean? He trained McCall. So he went into that fight and Stewart told him, listen, I'm going to give you a game plan that will beat Lewis. And he beat Lewis. The next fight, when he wasn't with him, Lewis killed him because Lewis changed his whole game plan. When Lewis got beat by Ratman because Lewis wanted to do Celebrity,
he was in Ocean's 11. He was filming.
Same way Ruiz is doing Celebrity. He's doing Celebrity out cold. Ratman sparked him. Next fight, he changed his whole stance. Lewis has changed his style literally 3 times. If you watch Lewis back in the day, then when he lost to McCall, he changed his style.
100.
When he lost to Ratman, he changed his style again.
100.
You get me? Whether obviously AJ's had fights of Parker and Takam. Takam was a shit fight, but his style, he kept saying, I'm trying to show you lot I can do something different, 12 rounds. When he fought against Parker, he said the same thing. I'm trying to show you lot, I've got something different to me. Whether or not he's got something different, I don't know. The one thing I caught,
I get what he's saying.
He gave us all the answers and then didn't turn around.
What he's saying, I don't know if AJ's that got the boxing brain to change it up.
You know what? Listen,
how Lewis did.
I can change my style today, yeah? Think about it. You knock me out, right? I can change my style and say, you know what, today, when we fight again, I'm going to jab you. I'm going to use my reach. I'm going to do that. But at the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, at one point, Ruiz he's Mexican. Mexicans fight in the pocket. At one point or another, even if Ruiz is down 8-9 rounds, let's say Ruiz is down 9 rounds because AJ's just jabbed him for now. At that 10th round, his manager's going to say, SA, we need to go. You need to go forward and you need to swing in the paint. At that point, Ruiz is going to go, clinch his fist, and he's just going to swing. It doesn't matter how many jabs you do. Once Ruiz gets in the pocket and closes his eyes, bites down and just starts swinging.
And AJ back down as well.
If AJ gets hit, listen, once his equilibrium gets hit in that fight, everything comes back. Let me go to UFC for 1 second, yeah? When Anderson Silva got knocked out by Weidman, right? No one could believe it.
His leg. Oh yeah, when he got knocked out.
He got knocked out. No one could believe it because they thought there's no way in hell this guy would lose. It was similar to AJ. You didn't even have to watch the fight. You expected to just wake up and think, he won. Yeah. That's why when Josh lost, it was like the next day no one could believe it. They thought, is this a dream? There's no way he lost. When Anderson went to fight him the second fight, he got hit again. He was going down, like his eyes were shutting. And then in the end, he broke his leg. But when someone's knocked you out, even after your next fight, if you get knocked out in this fight now, your next fight, they always say your jaw's not the same, your head's not the same.
Ben Askren, when you got kneed by Masvidal, the next fight, he was looking.
When I say I don't know, I legitimately don't know. Because the first thing you said about Ruiz is Ruiz even going to really care? Like, is Ruiz going to be the same? No one knows what Ruiz is. Ruiz might just be like, it's a payday. I don't really care what happens.
But he didn't knock him out.
He knocked him.
I feel like AJ wasn't ready. He didn't. He prepared for.
Kev. You can't get knocked down 4 times and say my G's not ready, bro.
He wasn't ready.
Bro, look at round 3. That's the pivotal round in his whole fight. He knocks Ruiz and there's this stance of...
it's another stroll in the park.
Another stroll.
Yeah.
You look at Ruiz. Ruiz looks up and goes, I'm a New Yorker, blood. We don't move like that. When he knocked him down, Ruiz jogged back. Was standing there thinking, cool, I'm going. Did it again, round 4.
Don't forget when he got...
AJ was looking at the ref like, bro, what do I do? Why are you looking at the ref for? Bro, he just weren't ready to get knocked down because he thought, my mentality is I'm going to go and blow this guy away, cool. Give that to Wilder.
Don't forget it was a feeling though. It was supposed to fight for Big Baby Miller, and then they replaced him.
If you swap that 6,
he would have won. I think he would have beat Miller.
Miller's just trash.
No, meaning that he would have been. He's been training for him. He's got his energy towards it.
But if you get knocked down,
he disliked him.
If you get knocked down, your mentality as a boxer needs to be, bro, if I don't buck up my ideas, it's going to get embarrassing. And it got embarrassing for Femi. Femi needs to now, you should laugh. But I've been saying it for years. You should laugh. Anthony's mainstream. He's for the people. He's for Lucozade. He's for Watch, for Next or whatever.
Under Armour.
Under Armour. You need to get Femi in that ring. Because, bro, Femi will annihilate Ruiz until every man.
I think Femi's coming, bro. Because Femi even though the interviews that I'm seeing, no trim. I feel like
when the guy has no trim, he's on job.
All right. I'll be real with you, yeah? Since that fight, I've not watched enough. I didn't watch that interview with the lady when they said he was.
Yeah, you were hurt. Sidney, I remember we watched that day live. Sidney was hurt.
I haven't watched that. I haven't watched his round table. I haven't watched nothing.
You should watch it.
The only thing
it tells me everything.
I don't care. The only thing I've watched is like these Sky Sports, like the recap of the night where they've talked about what. I've watched that. But all these interviews I've not watched because there's nothing you can say now. He says all these things, but as far as I'm concerned, you need to go in and do the game plan that you should have kind of learned how to do by now anyway. But I personally, and I said this in the group the other day, and I said, I don't know if he will, because I don't trust his trainer. I've never trusted his trainer.
I've
never trusted McCracken.
No, I don't think McCracken either. I think he's been dealt harshly, man, because a lot of people think McCracken is not good enough as well.
Yeah, I don't think McCracken's good enough. So I think that's why I said Lewis changed his style like 3 times.
You know, McCracken was telling him what Ibs was saying, what he should do. He was saying, make yourself taller, stop coming to his level. He was telling him everything. AJ wasn't listening. He said, come into the middle and command the ring.
But that's the thing. I can tell you, Is he telling him before or is he telling him when the chips are down? That's what I'm saying.
Don't matter.
When I
as a
told,
box, your mentality.
okay, cool, but listen, AJ didn't even know where he was. He was asking what round. He didn't know where he was.
How's that McCracken? What can McCracken do?
No, but what I'm saying is McCracken. Listen, everyone knows from day, right? Guys like Michael, Solo, they've been saying, yeah, he needs to change his ways. He needs to learn how to jab. When you're 6'6", yeah, and you've got a reach that's 80 something inches, you should be able to use your reach. Every time AJ's in trouble is when he decides to crouch down and fight in the pocket.
He's not a fighter
Why
like that.
are you crouching to somebody who's 6'2"? You are crouching 4 inches
Was it
to fight in the pocket.
working, Tiddy?
What, to fight in the pocket?
Whatever he was doing, it was working though, isn't it?
When was it working?
When
he knocked
it's
him
been
down?
working for
No, you're
AJ.
talking about his other fights.
Oh, with the other fights?
You only win. You only see some of these people that can do these multiple things. They learn it because they have a proper amateur pedigree. Who is it? What's his name? Was talking about it. That's why you need to watch that.
Yeah, he never had that. It's well.
He's done on the job, basically.
But he's done, like, he's shown, like I was gonna say, I'm not even sure if this guy has the footwork to keep the long reach, but he kind of showed it against Parker. But Ruiz is way better at coming forward than Parker, in my opinion. He's just more skilled. He's got more tools and more weapons.
That's fine. But listen, at the end of the day, if you're a boxer, whether you're an educated boxer like a Floyd or you've learned on the job, like get me a new trainer like Lewis or whatever, at the end of the day, your jab is the very first punch you learn in boxing, period, right? Your reach is 84 or whatever it is in inches. Alone, if I put my hand out, you have to figure out a way to get around my hand. My man does not even put his hand out.
Do you know why?
If you do not do the basic of putting your hand out...
It's not that he can't do it. Do you know why?
Why?
That is why we complained about Klitschko for 10 years. This guy was boring us with straight one long jab and then the right hand. He was boring, not the diehards, yeah. But the neutrals, he weren't drawing them in the way AJ's
was
giving
lock
you
them out,
excitement every single
How's
time.
that any different to Floyd? Because Floyd was the most defensive boxer you've ever seen. What? Do you tell me Floyd boxed? Floyd will just sit back, jab. Look at the Canelo. Jab, jab, sit. Jab, jab, sit.
Because the opponent, I feel like because the opponents that Floyd had were a higher level than what Klitschko had in that era. He was getting Canelo, who was doing silky stuff, but then taking away his best weapons and still beating him. That was the aura of Floyd and all of those opponents.
But AJ, as Sidney said, jab, jab. If AJ just jabs Ruiz, like same way Tyson would for 12, Fury will jab Ruiz head off.
Because he can't do anything else.
But that's why he's the best for me. He will just jab, 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 keep him this. Look what he did to Wilder.
Not that he can't do anything else.
No, he can't.
But he's not got the power to circle.
For me, I'll tell you how AJ wins this fight. Cuts the ring in half and just keeps him at a distance. That's what he's got to do. You've got to be on the front foot and cut the ring in half.
Can I tell you something? Because even in the fight, AJ asked Rob McCracken 2 or 3 times in the corner. I said, what should I do? Should I go into the middle and control the ring? Yeah? McCracken was saying, yeah, go and dictate the pace. Stand in the middle and hold your ground. AJ couldn't do it. So you saying cut the ring, and
that's what he has to do.
Can AJ, because the reason he didn't do it is because he knew Ruiz has got flurries. So even if I try and dictate the middle and stand in the middle and hold my ground, Ruiz is going to come and meet me there.
I don't buy that when he did it against Joseph Parker, he was just trying to show us that he's got another tool in his arsenal. Bullshit. Robert McCracken is a good coach, and they identified and said, yo, see this guy, this is what we need to do against him. Otherwise, it can get a very techie. The fight could go left. If you go in there and do your normal shit with Parker, he may upset you.
So you reckon with Ruiz, they didn't even plan that far? Like,
what they needed to do. So that's where Rob McCracken has to take a bit of an error. You see this guy, we need to do the same thing we did with Parker again, because he's the same. He's in that same group and danger he possesses, but at a higher level. And if he's ready, then the fact that he was given short notice maybe makes him think.
So this time round,
your promoter is never supposed to. You're not supposed to be in a big fight. He gets injured, and they throw you a harder situation than what you were gonna fight.
That's why that was going brazy in the ring after.
What the hell?
This is my point about Eddie Hunt.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
it's just.
Oh, so listen.
So
I'm gonna do like a gloves are off thing here. I don't want no fencing. I want a clear answer. 7th of December, AJ Ruiz. Who wins, Kev?
It's starting with me first.
Start with you, bro.
I've played it. I played the scenarios in my head.
David here again, bro. Just
I'm gonna say it. Like, I played the scenarios in my head, and I feel like I've done all my calculations, and I feel like I must have switched about 5 times.
You're
bro.
like Paulie Man.
You know, I think.
It goes on and on.
that was easy.
Yeah, he's good, man.
Hurry up, bruv, man.
Someone else.
Ruiz is gonna win.
In what?
Bow.
I think Ruiz is gonna win.
Yeah.
Via what?
Wow, you're now asking.
Yeah, via what? Go on, because we're here now.
Stoppage.
Stop it. Okay.
I think
early, middle, late.
That's all. That's the maximum.
No, I want details now. We're here.
No, because I've looked at it and I'm like, I feel like Ruiz is skilled, and I know he's got a bang that can trouble AJ. So now it's his bang and then his bang. They've both got bangs. Now it's down to skill. Who's got skill and who's got? Whoa, hold on, skill. No, I never told you AJ had skill. I never ever told anyone that AJ was the most skillful heavyweight out there. I told you he's got power and he can knock down anyone.
One of the best finishers.
Yeah, he's a finisher. But now I know that this guy's got the same level of bang, which is why I'll even go further. I'll give you more since you said I go on. I'll tell you, if he fought Wilder, he's getting knocked the fuck out.
100%.
Because this guy, they both got bangs, and if you put AJ in a situation where they both got bangs, I feel like with Wilder, it's too much bang. It's just too much bang.
Ibs, same thing.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No.
No. Listen. No. I'm not gonna be Black Man and RG. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if Ruiz wins. AJ, for me, should win by points, keep it simple, and take the titles home. It's not a fashionable win because people will say it's boring. But I'm just gonna say AJ in 7.
AJ in 7, lovely.
Yeah,
I love
AJ
that.
in 7.
Sid,
I have faith in Femi. AJ in 7.
Femi in 7. Sid.
AJ on points.
Oh, AJ on points.
Which is what I said.
Yeah?
It's a nice.
You said 7.
AJ on
No,
points.
but I meant in the way he should box.
AJ
Yeah.
on points.
It's not about what you want. I want AJ to win, but I've seen it. I've looked at the fight and I've looked at everything. I've gone, mate. This just looks too mad.
Can I actually say one more thing about Wilder
And he's great if he wins.
Wilder
AJ is great if he wins.
why Wilder has the X factor? Because he's knocking these guys out clean.
Yep.
So it makes his presence sick. If AJ wins on points, Wilder will go. What's so spectacular? Yeah, no, not Fury. What's so spectacular about that? Yeah, what's so spectacular about that? But if he knocks him in 7th, I have the titles on going back to London.
AJ don't do points.
But I'm just saying, he will go back and say, I got that.
I'm gonna say AJ for the win, and I'm gonna say points as well. But there's gonna be knockdowns in the fight. There's gonna be knockdowns in the
So
fight.
you think AJ will be able to?
No. I think Ruiz will get back. I think AJ's gonna drop Ruiz, and I think Ruiz is gonna have that Mexican heart. I thought Ruiz is gonna push AJ to the. I think it's gonna be a war.
So hold on. So can I ask? So no one believes Ruiz is gonna drop AJ in this whole fight.
No, and that's what I'm saying.
Because that is what has determined this whole prediction.
I think he might get dropped as well.
I believe he will go down once. I feel like he's gonna go down once, and because AJ is just that much more skilled, he's going to be the end.
Ruiz is more
Because
skilled.
once Ruiz drops AJ, it's a wrap. I don't think he can come back. It's not Klitschko situation. I feel like he'll finish him.
Anyway, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying AJ on points. We'll see. Team Talk TV. We're gonna do a video straight after the fight, a recap video. So that's gonna be on YouTube. The one we did before when AJ lost was lit. So this one, you get me? Just be expecting that one as well. So yeah, another week, guys. Peace and love.
Take care.
Have a good week. Thanks for coming on the show, lads.
No worries, anytime.
Yeah, love.
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 Anytime.
Yeah, love.